Have you heard of Invest America accounts? Sometimes these accounts are also referred to as Trump accounts. And this is a new type of account introduced by the new tax legislation that was passed by Donald Trump and the rest of Congress on July 3rd of 2025. So what is an Invest America account or a Trump account? This account will be exclusive for any child born in the United States that's a U.S. citizen between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. What the government is actually going to do is they are going to automatically open up an account in that child's name as soon as the parent files a tax return showing that their child is a beneficiary on their return, or a parent can go to a bank or another qualifying institution to open up this account. The government is actually going to deposit $1,000 as seed money into the account, and it can be invested in any US stock index. Now, that's somewhat limited because it can only be invested in a US stock index. It can't be purchased with individual stocks. You can't invest in bonds. Won't be able to invest in certain other index funds or mutual funds or cryptocurrencies or really any other type of security. It's just limited to a US stock index, although historically, the US stock market tends to outperform most other asset classes, so it's not really a bad thing per se. I think this is actually a great way to introduce a lot of young families to investing and the concept of saving, especially for their kids at a very early age. It can be difficult for a lot of parents who are young, who have a newborn at home, to even rationalize the idea of saving for their newborn when they have so many other expenses to consider between maybe formula, maybe some form of childcare, the additional increases to grocery expenses. There's all these other things that are going on. And I think it can help motivate and incentivize a lot of families to start saving for their kids at an early age. Now, families can also contribute up to $5,000 per year in this account, and even your employer can give you a match up to $2,500. So I think this will be a great way for employers to start offering benefits, not just to the employee, but also their family members and dependents as well. The employer match will not be counted as income on the employee's tax return, which is also a wonderful benefit. The money that the parent deposits into the account does go in post-tax, so you've already paid taxes on this money. The money will grow tax deferred. And then as long as it's used for a qualifying expense, which could be starting a business, buying a home, higher education expenses, or having a baby of their own, that money can be distributed tax-free. Now, the money is limited until the child turns 18. So if you do take the money out before the age of 18, it's treated as a premature distribution, which get taxed at ordinary income rates. And there's also a 10% penalty. So it does try to incentivize folks to leave that money in the account as long as humanly possible. That provision changes when the beneficiary or child in this case is no longer a child and they turn the age of 31. At that point, the account shifts control over to them, and they can distribute the money however they best see fit and pay capital gains rates instead of ordinary income rates. So typically, this is a much lower rate for a lot of people in the United States. So in summary, Invest America accounts are going to be new types of accounts. There's really not much you need to do to set one up. The government's going to do it automatically with $1,000 as soon as you file your next year's tax return, as long as your beneficiary or child is listed on your return. And I think it's a great way to just get families motivated and interested in saving for not just themselves for their retirement, but also for their children and their futures.